Hey, guys, we're live.
We're all serious business.
We're live. Put the halo back on. What's up, guys? We are back once again with episode 27 of the Super Deformed Gamescast. I always say once again with episode whatever, but really this is the first and only one. As you guys can see, I am back home, back in my basement. I've got Boba Fett right behind me chilling. It was a long 8 weeks, but I'm home. I'm back. I made it through. The training is done, and I'm very, very happy to be home. We don't have a full house tonight. Steve and Gabe will not be with us, nor will Jeff, because Jeff is picking up his car or something like that. And Steve has work to do, and Gabe's a fuckboy, so he will not be joining us tonight. However, what the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. You're such a tool. We've got our chat mod, Alcoholicaust, is here with us tonight, so we're real happy to have you on, buddy.
Hey, thanks for the invite. First Gamescast, and like my 5th or 6th show watching you guys, so I'm very honored that you guys would actually have me on.
No, dude, it's our pleasure. We've been wanting you on for some time. So play your cards right. There may or may not be a second time. And with us as always, Brandon. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Fucking Flunky Kenway over here.
What's up?
You gotta get that shit out of there. And Doc is here, fresh from GDC. Doc, what's going on, buddy?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And well, I want some scoops here later. As many scoops as you can possibly throw at me. So
you'll get a few. You'll get a few.
Good. I better. And we may have a few people jumping in as well a little later. I sent a few links out because I thought we might be short-handed tonight, but we'll see. We'll see who pops in. There might be some surprises. So who knows? It's been a really cool week. A lot of interesting stuff coming out. A lot of PSVRs being sold out. But first, I want to talk about our very first sponsor. So, Flunky, why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, this is super exciting. We're finally big enough to get sponsors now. We have a loyal viewer base, so we figured it'd be a good idea to go ahead and lock one up. So, geekandgamergear.com is now our sponsor, our official sponsor. They have gaming and anime memorabilia at prices only someone living in a van could afford to offer. Use the code word DEFORMED at the checkout to receive 10% off of your entire order, plus free shipping on every order. That is geek, the letter N, gamergear.com, code word DEFORMED. So if you're interested in like Pokemon plushies or Triforce necklaces, Super Nintendo PC controllers, One Piece posters, or if you're Brandon, Sinran Kagura figures.
Are you serious? Is that actually a thing?
I don't know. But,
I hope so.
But if it were, you could probably find it at geekandgamergear.com. Code word
I think I actually want one of
Let's
those.
get them.
and it'll ship free right
Go
to
get
your
that
house.
shit. Yeah, don't forget keyword deformed, right? Because yeah.
I wish I had
Yes.
I wish I had one of those Super Nintendo PC controllers when I was.
Wait.
playing.
Hold on. How was HD Jeff in chat but not in the fucking podcast?
The power of
Hey,
cell phones.
scrub.
Jeff, you're such a
2016,
scrub.
man.
You're such a fucking scrub, Jeff. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's been
okay,
a cool
we
week.
love Jeff.
We still love Jeff. I know. So I want to start off with our guest, our lovely chat mod. Why don't you tell us what you're playing?
This week, well, I watched you play Salt and Sanctuary for about 5 minutes before I ordered it myself
Hell
for
yeah.
4 hours straight. That game is incredible. I was told by a close associate of mine to not play it because it drove him crazy, Mr. Yoshi-chan on Twitter.
Yeah, Yoshi-chan's crazy. He's nuts.
Now I respect Yoshi. He's had my back in the past on Gaff a couple times on a whole bunch of issues. But I honestly don't know where he's coming from with this because that game is brilliant. So I've been playing that, and then I happened to get a little import copy of Dark Souls 3. You guys ever heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it. As jealous as I am, I want you to tell me all about it. So go, roll.
Fantastic. The intro is
Spoilers! Spoiler warning! Spoiler!
No. I don't want to mess around with anything like that. I will say that if you're a Demon Souls fan, you're going to have a lot of stuff to like.
Days, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, be
And
careful.
you know,
Are you specifying Demon Souls like specifically, or is that just like Souls?
Who the fuck? Wait. Who the fuck is this guy at the bottom?
I don't know.
Anchorman 5.
Oh, is that Anchorman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's up, dude? I had no idea. I just saw I just heard a fucking ear, and I was like, what is happening?
A wild ear rated the podcast.
Anyway, all right, keep talking about Dark Souls.
So if you're a Demon Souls fan, you're gonna have a lot to like in this game. Granted, I'm playing the Japanese version. I bought the Japanese version 2 weeks prior to the knowledge that the Xbox One version would be in English if you were to go through the right maneuvers to get it. So that sort of sucks, but you know, I got what I paid for. I knew it was going to be in Japanese. I did the same thing for Demon Souls in 2008, 2009, whenever the hell that came out. But I love it so far. The weapon arts are fantastic. I did not play the closed beta like you did, John, and very impressed. Beautiful game too on PS4.
I have been hearing some people say that it is subject to the same old From Software frame rate issues that every other game has been.
Yes.
I'm sure
will
it's got
say
frame pacing issues like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But
I mean, not even
I will
frame
say,
rate, like the pacing.
yeah. I did see the footage from the Xbox One build yesterday on Digital Foundry, probably like most of us did. My PS4 copy did not run that bad. I will say I did not experience like heavy chugging like that in the intro area at all. The resolution you can definitely tell is much better than whatever the hell the Xbox One is putting to.
Cool.
Does it do that thing that Bloodborne did, where like it would freeze and the sound would like screech for like?
Oh God, I hate it.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't experienced that.
All right, good, because that was annoying as fuck.
Now, Bamco has come out and said that they're going to patch the game, and the game is not ready for Western release yet. So there is like this hope that there's going to be a patch, but it of course is Bamco. I'll say that the technical side of it runs probably as well as Bloodborne does now. Like after the patch, load times are a lot quicker. I can't test the online mode though, you know, so I don't know. I can't test it until I think. Oh, it doesn't matter. Once the retail is out, I'm going to be having it on PC anyways, but because I'm crazy.
Yeah, dude, you're making me fucking jealous, man. I can't. So you know, well, actually, I was going to talk about people downloading it early on Xbox One and playing the English version, but we can get into that later. But no, dude, thanks for bringing us up to speed on that. How far are you in, by the way?
4 areas, 3 bosses,
okay.
And it took probably 8 hours.
What's your take on the difficulty, real quick?
You know, the intro areas and the first boss wasn't difficult at all. I'm used to like you're gonna die as soon as you face the first thing, you know, like a Souls game.
Yeah,
but
sure.
That didn't happen here. The first boss, I was able to just strafe around and just come up right under him, and he sort of leaves himself open for bigger attacks. I don't know. But I will say that the enemies aggro like a motherfucker now. Like, if they see you, they'll come after you, which is cool, but it's also very Demon Souls-esque where, like, some of their eyes will flash red, you know? Like, they see you, you know, oh, shit, you know? And they come en masse now. Like, you'll have to fight, like, probably 4 or 5 pretty strong guys a couple hours in, and you're, like, you have to choose your battles really well. It's good, though. Very good. Without being too spoilerific.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
I'm gonna give one spoiler.
Please, go ahead.
The first dragon you guys have to fight is fantastic and probably the best dragon you've ever seen in a video game. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nice.
I like it.
It's incredible.
There's dragons in the game. Ah.
All right, so we'll move on. God, you're such a weirdo. Okay, we'll move on to
Doc. Go to Doc. I want to know what happened to.
No, we gotta save the best for last.
You're the only person who matters, Al.
Yeah, chill. I want to hear. I want to hear. Since I was gonna go to Brandon, but since no, you know what, Anchorman, you're rude. You can wait. I want Brandon to go first because you cut in between Al and Brandon. So Brandon, you go, and then Anchorman, you go.
All right. I was playing. It's been a slow week for me. All I did was just grind out the platinum trophy for Senran Kagura, because I'm that kind of guy.
God, I'm sure you guys noticed I ended up not streaming it just simply because I know I'll play, like, I'm still gonna get it, but I'm gonna wait for the price to go down because I know it's gonna be like $60 and I'm gonna play it for half an hour before I'm disgusted with it and I don't want to play anymore. And then I would greatly resent both Brandon and Funky for forcing me to fucking do this. So.
My FedEx order of Dead or Alive Extreme 3 from Play Asia is coming in tomorrow. So
what about your 3DS?
I'm swimming in it. And
I'm swimming in it.
You're going to be knee deep in anime titties and ass for the next 2 weeks.
That's the best kind.
I disagree, but
If
they're
you
still
say
pretty
so. You say so. That's fine. I guess each to his or her own.
Yeah, and I bought a 3DS, or a new 3DS, and the first thing I'm going to play with it is Earthbound on the Virtual Console that came out today.
But you could also play Pokemon Shuffle because it's free.
I was playing Pokemon Picross last night.
God.
I'm addicted to Shuffle, I'm sorry. It's just the greatest thing ever made.
The greatest thing.
These free-to-play games on 3DS.
Man. All right. Sorry, just been doing laundry. I had to walk like half a mile just to go get laundry.
That's fine, man. See, that's dedication right there. Whoa, I can hear myself.
Yeah, sorry, I'm turning it down.
Okay, there we go.
I just got back in.
Okay, that's better. Much better. No, I can still hear myself. This is driving me crazy.
I'll fix it.
Okay, while you're fixing that, I can still hear myself talk while you're fixing it. Oh my god.
Yo, you're the host. Can you mute him for a second though?
Yeah, I'll mute you. Yeah, there he goes. Okay. All right, there he goes. All right. Hey, I'm. You know what? I'm not the host. Okay, I'm just the one controlling it.
I mean, you're like the moderator of the fucking.
Well, all right. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Okay, so since we're waiting on Anchorman to fix his echoing issues, we'll go ahead and go to the squirrel. What are you playing this week, man?
Fix your shit, Bill Gates.
Do what?
You're playing.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better.
All right.
I've been playing same old, probably the same as I was playing a couple weeks ago. Far Cry 4. Yeah, well that too. Yeah, but I've been grinding out Far Cry 4's platinum. I've been doing a lot of outposts, just trying to check all the boxes. I haven't actually beaten the story, so I'm making my progress on that. But I'm getting caught up in the little side missions a lot, just because they're fun. And that game's come a long way for me. I really hated it when it came out, but I'm really enjoying it now. But,
it's interesting how your views have evolved on that.
It's crazy how my views have evolved on that.
It's pretty cool.
I completely, I was one of the guys. I wrote off Far Cry 4 too, and then ended up really enjoying it. So I should stop doing that because that was 2 games.
Yeah, you don't have a great track record right now with that.
But I've been playing.
Man.
I've been playing Fire Emblem Awakening a whole lot lately, and
Such a good game.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I got to the point just last week where I started to marry people and get to pair them up, and they have kids, and you get to use their kids in battle, and it's like a very Pokemon breeding-esque thing, and it's strangely addictive. It's just. I didn't really picture myself liking this game as much as I did, or do, but I cannot put it down lately, so.
Nice. Hell yeah, man.
That's good.
All right, Anchorman, what are you playing?
Right now, I actually just picked up Rainbow Six Siege for $35.
Yes.
Oh, Brandon wants to salute you. Or no, JT actually. Brandon doesn't play that game.
I haven't played Rainbow Six.
Such a great game.
It really is.
It's a lot of fun, and the funniest thing about it though is you could, I had never played it. I never every time I tried to do the beta, the connection just sucked dick back at the betas. And so it was the first time playing it, and it was the first match I was getting wrecked because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But after 2 or 3 matches, you caught the hang of what you're supposed to do, and you're like, all right, you can pick up and play, even though it's so late after launch. If people are just a lot better, but if you have a good squad, they can make up for you, and it's nice. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, the gunplay in that game is fantastic. It's kind of ruined other shooters for me, just because I was never satisfied playing other things. I just popping heads in Siege feels so good. I just want to get back to that. And
is it still on sale? I should pick it up.
I think so.
Yeah, it's $35. At least at the Xbox Spring sale. I don't know if it's on sale anywhere else. But
I want to get it on PS4. Yeah.
And you can click when you're aiming down sights. You can click either of the 2 sticks, R3 or L3, to lean either way, kind of like PC. But I found myself for months after starting that game, I still do it. I just find myself trying to click the sticks to lean, around a tree or whatever in Far Cry. I'm like, no, this isn't Siege anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens to me when I'm playing games with a similar control scheme. Like for example, Bloodborne. Like I keep wanting to play Salt and Sanctuary. Or I meant to say Salt and Sanctuary, not Bloodborne, but Salt and Sanctuary. I keep wanting to play that like your classic Metroidvania and Castlevania game.
Oh yeah.
I keep wanting to mash right up, just mash enemies, and I learned very quickly you cannot fucking do that in Salt and Sanctuary. Yeah. So, but before I get into what Doc's been playing, I'll go real quick because I'm going to be fast. I actually haven't gotten the chance to play a whole lot this week because I've been having exams and stuff like that for that course I was in. But I've been able to play Salt and Sanctuary some, and I got as far as this place called Hager's Cavern, which, in my opinion, difficulty-wise, is basically the Blight Town of Salt and Sanctuary. It's fucking horrible. Like from a difficulty standpoint, it's fucking horrible. I would love to hear your reactions when you actually get there. If you have been there, or if you ever do, I'm sure you will at some point. But so I've been playing Salt and Sanctuary. Really, really frustrated that I'm not playing Dark Souls 3 like some other people right now. But it's probably a good thing because I'm not sure if I would have passed that course had Dark Souls 3 come out on Tuesday. So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on right now. It's been a slow games week for me, but I'm going to be making up for that this weekend. Doc, what about you?
So I kind of just got back on the weekend. Right before that, I've been playing The Division, which I love to pieces. I think The Division is probably one of the best games of recent time.
Nope.
Put it up on my
I'm in between on it.
So I'm
so much disdain in all those sides.
Okay. I'll just put it this way. I have a really good go-op team, and we play it on the highest difficulty we can.
Yeah, that makes
so we know each other like super well. We know how to do tactics with each other really kind of in depth. So we have these really intense, exciting moments that come out of knowing each other's tactics, knowing how to cover each other, stuff like that. We often kind of just improv, like how we're going to do things. Like, a bunch of shotgunners will be pushing up, but we got snipers. We'll just kind of naturally go into the right people for shooting snipers and the right people for shooting shotgunners, and it all kind of works out really well. And it's led to some of the most intense moments I've had in a game with people before, which is awesome. The other thing I've been playing a lot, and this is gonna sound terrible, I know. It's been Knack, actually. I've been playing.
Are you kidding me?
No, here's what happened. I was playing on my Wii U.
He accidentally put it in.
I was playing Pokken Tournament on my Wii U, which is really fun, by the way. But my battery ran out on the controller, so I had to play something else. So I pulled up Knack, and I started playing Knack, and I started having fun with Knack. And like 4 hours later, I was like, man, I have to go to bed, but I really want to play more Knack, so I played more Knack, and it's weirdly fun. Like it's the only complaint that I have is that it's a little bit too hard at points. Like you just die cheaply, but I'm having fun beyond that.
I just want to point out real quick that we now have 5 dislikes, which is the most we've ever had, and it happened right around the time you said The Division is one of the greatest games of all time.
Wow.
I'm
thrown.
Simply,
all it takes to get that done.
Pointing it out. That's all I'm doing.
The Division's a good game, but it's like greatest of all time? No.
It's
not top 10.
He said a recent.
He said recent. He said recent.
Oh, he said recent. Maybe you qualify to say like of this generation. Like maybe we could do that.
I could say this generation, sure. I mean, it's one of the first times I've ever really felt tactical in a game, which is awesome. But yeah, I don't even know what's wrong with me that I enjoy Knack. Something is very, very wrong here. Because I am having fun playing Knack, and everyone told me it was bad, but I think it's because I'm just kind of zoning out, just like
I've never even
shutting my brain off, kind of walking through it.
The game goes from like normal difficulty to uber hard, like I think like 3rd chapter in, doesn't it, Doc?
Yeah, it's got some bits that are really challenging. I'm in the mad science guy's like compound right now, and I escaped that. I'm at the mine now. There are moments where it's like you die and you're like, what? Why? How? But I mean, like I just kind of do it again. It's quick enough that it's almost like like Super Meat Boy or something, where you just kind of go in, you do a thing, you die, you start over, and you just repeat.
Kind of like I live, I die, I live again.
Yeah, very much so. I just it's like the perfect game for like shutting my brain off. And since this week has been mostly just like me being post GDC sick, I kind of need a brain dead game to play, and I think Knack is kind of the perfect game for what I'm needing right now. What else have I been playing? Because I've played some other stuff. Oh yeah, I played a Metric Craft on Orcs Must Die last night. I almost beat the entire game again last night in one sitting. That's a really good game. Everyone should play Orcs Must Die. Yeah, the first one. I was replaying it, and then I'm gonna go play the second one. I played part of the beta.
Good games. I like them both.
I played part of the beta over the weekend for the new game on Steam. Half the textures are missing, but they've added a single-player mode, so it's now more in line with what I expect out of an Orcs Must Die game, and it's not bad anymore.
You know, I just want to point out real quick, for anybody who's played PT, there's a point in the demo, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute, where like the hallway turns red, there's a red light. It looks like JT is sitting in that hallway right now.
Where's that woman going to come up
I
behind
keep
him, right?
expecting that woman to come up behind you.
Oh, God.
That would be fucking excellent. Like, scary, I would be really sad, but also kind of thrilled at the same
You never
time.
know. You never know what you're going to get here.
God, that looks so fucking scary. Jesus Christ. Okay, so anyway, let's
at least throw a halo on for some like.
I know, yeah.
Dude, yeah, I can totally do that. I can absolutely do that.
Get yourself like a corncob pipe and a straw hat image going on there.
Is that better?
But
can you see my Star Wars art back here now? I finally have something on my walls. Are you happy?
Yes, it doesn't look like you live in a dank fucking prison anymore. But it just did
hotel being renovated.
Yeah, I know, dude. It just looked like 4 walls of depression. I'm glad you spruced it up a little bit.
I did it just for you.
Although I will say that having lived in a hotel for 8 weeks, I can absolutely I got no room to talk. That was fucking awful. But so what we'll do right now is we'll get into the news real quick. There's a few things I want to talk about, and then I want to throw it over to Doc and talk some GEC.
Oh my goodness!
I got lots to say. I
know. So we're gonna blow through the news here pretty quick. There's just a few things I want to talk about. One, Xbox Live Games with Gold next month is fucking sweet.
$100 of value.
Yeah, so much value. Sunset Overdrive is a really good game, and that's on Games with Gold next month. I highly recommend. If you got an Xbox One, go pick it up.
I need to do the multiplayer with people.
What's that?
Yeah.
I really want to do the multiplayer with people badly.
Oh, yeah. Multiplayer is a ton of fun.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it.
I just don't have any friends who owned the game when I was playing the game, so.
Yeah. But my only regret with Sunset Overdrive is that I loved playing the multiplayer. It was enjoyable. I really had a good time. The only thing I didn't like was that there was no real co-op for the story missions or anything. It was just this separate mode. But I feel like that game would have worked as with a co-op. That would have been enjoyable, a drop in, drop out kind of thing. I feel like it would have been much more enjoyable.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more fun.
I just want to give a shout out real quick to our boy Z-Huge in chat. What's up, baby? Huge. The Zooge is here.
Man.
He missed the daylight savings time because he's in the UK.
For a man with that many charts, he doesn't have a chart for that?
Oh, that's the sickest of fucking burns.
Not really.
Tap this
I love you, Dan.
Okay, we do. I know, right? I'm actually going to reference something Huge tweeted out here a little later. But first, I want to talk about Dark Souls 3 real quick, and the fact that some players have bought the international version of the game.
Tell Enrique how to get it. He wants.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? Do you want to explain it? Because you could probably talk through it better than I can.
Oh, Christ. Okay, well, if you want to get the PSN version, the Japanese PlayStation 4 version, which I would recommend over the Xbox One version as far as performance goes, all you have to do is you create a Japanese profile on your PS4, which is easy to do because it's region-free console, and making multiple master accounts in each region is allowed currently. Sony will let you do this. So you just do that. You know what, I'll tweet this out after this because it's an extensive thing. I'll do the Reddit links for both.
That's good.
So that'll get you the PS4 version. You have to go to Play Asia, buy yen cards with U.S. currency or UK currency, wherever you live. Get those cards, They'll email you those cards as soon as your payment goes through PayPal or whatever. Then you just buy the game on the store, and it ran me $65 and change US to play it 20 days early in Japanese.
Are you still going to get the English version?
I already had the PC version pre-ordered a long time ago when it was $32.
Well done. That's what I call it getting good.
Dedication, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm getting it for the PC, but I wanted to get it early to, the anxiety was driving me crazy.
Bullshit on the PC.
There was an article on IGN that says Dark Souls 3 is the hardest Dark Souls yet, so I'm hoping that holds true. I've heard some really encouraging things about the difficulty, which
it stomped me in the dirt a couple times in the little bit in, but like I said, the intro is a little bit tamer than most Souls games, and Bloodborne included. I'll separate the two because we got to give props to Bloodborne and the Souls games together, not lump them together. It's definitely the easiest intro, but after that,
that's actually what I've heard. I've heard that unlike some Bloodborne, for example, I thought started off really hard and then got progressively easier. But I heard this starts off not too bad, but like eventually you just run into a fucking brick wall. So I
haven't gotten to the point of getting frustrated yet, if that's what you mean.
But it's a Souls game. You'll get frustrated at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, can I go back to the Xbox One version?
Right, go ahead.
Xbox One version is the same thing. Again, I'll tweet this out as well. You just create a new account on your Xbox, but however, in this case, you actually get an English, fully translated, all the menus and everything. It's the English version of the game. It just doesn't run with the day one patch that you're going to get on the Western release, whatever that may be. That's what From is saying, and what Bandai Namco is saying. So if you had the option to get both early, you have to weigh that. You want a technically better game, or do you want a game that you can understand without having to look at your iPad or your phone to translate stuff? Which I honestly didn't mind because it almost was like another thing that I had to do to get good.
Getting good.
But it's okay. If you've played any Souls games in the past, basically 90% of the items, you're going to know what they are and what they do. The buttons are a little different though now, the standard buttons. So there's that as well. You can change those. That's all I gotta say.
So I want to talk about this real quick. I actually was not aware of this until maybe right before we started the podcast, and this is interesting. So have you guys heard about the situation with Ark Survival Evolved in this lawsuit?
Oh yeah,
I just found out about that today.
Fantastic.
So
I did not hear this.
Okay, all right. So we got Ark. I love that Marine Corps speak. I love it. Ark Survival Evolved developer Studio Wildcard has been hit by a lawsuit from Trendy Entertainment. It's a stupid fucking name. The studio behind Dungeon Defenders, which could result in Ark being pulled from sale. In a recently unearthed court document obtained by Kotaku, who else? Trendy claims its ex-creative director Jeremy Stieglitz, no relation to Hugo Stieglitz, is in breach of a previously signed contract. Trendy's lawyers allege Stieglitz had agreed to several conditions to secure his exit from Trendy in 2014. Those conditions, according to Trendy, included not attempting to poach staff from the company and not creating direct competition. So the end result is, it says here at the very end, it says the case is currently ongoing. At this time, Trendy is trying to get an injunction in the 8th Judicial Court of Florida, set to take place on April 27th. Should the court rule in favor of Trendy, there's a possibility Ark may be pulled from Steam. Okay, interesting. The game is still in early access, right?
Yeah, still in early access.
Like every fucking survival.
Yeah, or like 90% of games on Steam.
And they just launched a new one too. They launched like a battle royale mode, Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, it's not getting good reviews though.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. It was fun for a little bit, but it was the same as Survival Evolved, just buggy, kind of obtuse, hard to get into. And like the menus and stuff, like the UI is awful in that game. It's pretty if you can run it because the performance is also bad. So like that entire engine or whatever that's running on is just running on fumes at this point.
So I'll tell you what. I've actually played a little bit of Ark Survival or Survival Evolved, or whatever it's called. I played a little bit on Xbox and I played a little bit on PC. I've got an Alienware. And that was able to run it really well on PC and it looked really good. The gulf between the PC version and the console version is fucking staggering.
Yeah.
It was like playing a completely different game on console. This isn't a knocking against Xbox One. I'm sure it would have run just as poorly on PS4. It looked like somebody's. It looked like somebody's. Dude, no, and Firewatch was egregious. But it looked like fucking somebody spread Vaseline all over my monitor when I was playing Ark on Xbox, and it ran like, imagine Blighttown, but like nothing but Blighttown. It ran like Blighttown frame rate the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just, like, everybody was talking about Ark Survival. I'm sure it'll be fine. I doubt it'll get pulled off the shelves. I can't remember the last time there was a lawsuit in which a game sale and which caused it. Yeah, I mean, can anybody come up with the last time something like this happened?
Well, see, this is the thing. I can't think of a time, but like, here's the major point that I got from this was that it was a non-competition clause for Stiglitz in particular, saying you can't work for 1 year on any game, blah blah blah, and you may be able to pull him down, but I don't think you could pull the rest of the team. Like, they might be able to go for assets. Like, okay, you took assets from what you learned from Trendy or whatever, like certain abilities or programs or whatever. You might have taken that, what you learned from here, and took it and put it in this game. They might be able to get it on that, but the non-competition aspect of it, I don't think they could really go for it to take down Ark.
They claim that they have technology, like that he used technology that was developed for them, so they could claim they actually own part of the game, and that could take it down. That's been their argument, at least.
I had read that there was several parts to it. That the main one I think that may stick is that particular aspect of it, that you took assets, you took program, you took all that kind of stuff from our studio and put it towards Ark. But like, there's another aspect of it they're trying to really push about the non-competition clause, and yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up because Zhuge tweeted something out earlier, and it references what I was going to talk about next in regards to and I feel like this is important to talk about. So the PS 4.5 or PS 4K or
yes.
Whatever you want to call it. So apparently, I don't know if everybody probably saw that article from Eurogamer, but I'll talk about it real quick anyway. Apparently, according to them, their sources have verified its existence. And when you look at it, and when you look at what it would mean to actually shove 4K, like real true 4K capability into a console, it seems highly unlikely that the box itself would be a 4K capable machine. So Zhuge had actually posted out some rumors he had heard earlier on Twitter, and Zhuge is a really reliable guy, and I believe he said that these same sources that he'd gotten this from, have been right about things in the past.
Yep.
I'm trying to pull it up here, and Zhuge tweets out so much shit. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he does.
Huge.
I should have saved it.
All these fucking charts, man.
I knew it was going to come up.
Wait, is it the list of things?
Here it is. I got it.
I
got it right here. So it says here PS4. So all credit to Zhuge for this. PS 4.5 is real in the sense that Sony has a prototype of a new PS4 SKU to replace CUH TAC 1200. It will still use an AMD APU and 8 GB of RAM. Will provide better performance. Sony shrunk the console PCB by about 1/4 and changed shape, reduced layers by 2. That smells like PS4 Slim to me. Mm-hmm. The console will have more power, but primarily for system plus media plus VR. Developers will not have 100% access to this extra power. PS4 games will work on PS4 4.5 and vice versa, same disc. There may be enhancements in PS 4.5 games, launching in either second half of 2016 to 2017. I consider the latter far more likely.
Yeah.
And of course, this is not confirmed. So before I throw it out the group, I just want to say that it sounds to me like, one, this is not going to actually make your games look any better. It sounds like this is more of a media deal. And if there are minor increments or minor incremental improvements, it'll be more along the lines of what we saw for like PS2 Slim or like PS3 Slim, which did have improved graphical capabilities. It was very minor, but you also had the additional HDMI ports and shit like that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? It sounds to me like PS4 Slim, really. But throw it out to the group.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It sounds more like a Slim thing. It doesn't. I don't know. It was the same criticisms that came up whenever they were talking about Xbox going modular, or adding more power, upgrading your Xbox. It sounds like it's the same kind of arguments on what are you gonna do? You're gonna split the base, blah 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 blah. And I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's probably gonna happen, but in more line with the Slim.
Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think?
I think Microsoft is going to try to go for the mobile approach, where they're releasing, a new phone type thing every year. Sony, I'm not so sure about. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony is going for the Slim thing. That's worked for them in the past. But I think Microsoft is quietly acknowledging that they're far enough behind that they want to do a little bit of catch up, and they want to go to more of a Windows is the platform, the box changes every year type thing. I think that's their goal, their ultimate goal, but I'm not quite sure how they're gonna, how are people gonna buy games for the really far future stuff that doesn't work? I don't know. There are games on my phone that I can't play on the new phone, and there are games on the new phones I can't play on my really old phone. So I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. It's a confusing nightmare. I imagine we'll hear about it at E3.
I'm just hoping that it somehow ends up in a Vita 2. That's all.
It won't. It won't. Yeah, I would love that too, but
PSVR doesn't mean PlayStation Vita Rebirth. Really? They've been lying to me.
The very confusingly sad way you said that was really sweet. I kind of want to give you a hug right now.
Oh man.
Just pat your head, be like, "It's okay, man. I'm right there with you." It's all right.
My pre-order then.
I understand. No, so this to me, I really don't think we're going to see a huge increase in hardware for whatever this thing is. Simply because you're immediately fragmenting the existing user base and kind of devaluing the purchases that 40 million people have already made.
Yeah. But see,
I just don't think Sony's that dumb.
Yeah. That's where I think that's why they're putting holding the reins on the developers if this is in fact true, because they don't want to piss off all those people who aren't going to upgrade. I don't know.
Yeah. So.
One aspect I think we do, since you brought up VR earlier, I think that is something. I don't think you mentioned prospective release dates. I highly doubt they'll be doing it 2016. It's got to be 2017 because they're launching VR 2016, and you're basically trying to ask people, hey, spend $400 on VR and then spend $400 or more on another PlayStation.
Yeah. So I just, like I said, dude, I really, really don't see that happening, especially with. I mean, can you imagine how that would affect sale? Honestly, if they were to release an actual machine that did all that around the time that PSVR did, both would cancel each other out. One would murder the other, and I don't think that's smart marketing. I don't think it's smart business, and I don't think Sony is that fucking stupid. Having said that, who knows, and we'll see what happens. But my intuition tells me that this is going to be the PS4 Slim. Every console has one. And to be honest with you, we're what, 2.5 years into this console's life cycle? Almost 3. Yeah, we'll be 3 in November. Yeah. This is around the time that you usually start seeing that shit pop up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my prediction. But so now I want to actually kick it off to Doc. And because no more news, I don't want to talk news anymore. I want to talk.
Yes.
I want to talk GDC, and that's what a lot of people are here for. So without any further ado, Doc, let's hear it, man.
Okay, so VR was probably the biggest thing going on there. So I'm actually going to hold that for last. I'll talk about the other stuff first because I can get that pretty quick.
You okay over there?
So one of the coolest, there are a couple things I can't talk about, which bums me out because there is a major series getting a third installment at E3 that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. It's not Half-Life 3. Just saying.
That's just speculation again.
Oh, going to Twitter right now.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. The minute you said that, Doc, I had an image of Brandon going Brandon or JT going like this.
BioShock 3.
It's Red Dead 3.
Well, hold on, we've already had a BioShock 3.
No, it was BioShock Infinite. It wasn't really.
We all know it's Red Dead. Just spill the beans, Doc. Tell us it's Red Dead. Tell us it's Red Dead or Portal.
I can tell you. I can tell you it's not Red Dead or Portal.
God
damn it!
Bioshock
Making it
3.
interesting.
I'll put it this way: it's not a game.
Red
It's not a game you would expect. It's not a game you would expect, but it's a game that a lot of people have been asking for.
Shenmue 3.
But it's something you don't know about. It's something that a lot of people suspect is in development, but yeah. Anyways,
Rapper 3.
so then I also played a
Dead.
game from a company called Mothership Team. That was super exciting, and I had a blast playing it. But again, I can't tell you what that is because they're in the process of getting a publisher. But that's more of my speed of things, though. So I would imagine a lot of other people aren't going to be like just because it's the genre I care about the most. But as for things I could talk about, there were a crap ton of indie games. One of them that looked really cool was called like Chambara, and it had it's like a multiplayer game where you can only see like one color, I guess. Really kind of weird. Like the players are black and white, and the map is black and white. It's weird.
Oh,
you're ninjas, and it's couch co-op. So that was a weird looking game, but I thought it was pretty cool. There's another one called Cube, which was spelled Kyub. That is a puzzler. It's like isometric that looked really cool. Like I walked by it and I was like, man, that doesn't look interesting. The guy's like, hey, let me demo it for you. And so I was like, okay, sure, why not? And then he started playing it and it was like, oh, this is really clever. I really like this. So I'm really interested in trying out Cube. That looked pretty cool. Honestly, a lot of indie stuff that was at the show was stuff that's already out, which seemed weird. Like there was like one booth that had like, I think it had Firewatch, Armello, just like a crap ton of games that are already out or had just come out.
That is weird.
The Unreal booth like had Grip, which is that roll cage inspired racing game that looks incredible. They had they also had a demo of what's it called? Abduction, which is the new game from the creators of Myst and Riven, which looked amazing by the way. Like, holy crap.
Science Studio.
Yeah, it's Science new game and it looks amazing. Like it is.
That's pretty cool, man. Those guys have been making games forever.
Gorgeous. Like holy crap. The stuff that they can do. I mean, they've always been amazing artists, so I guess it's to be expected. But yeah, that Grip game looks amazing. But I just found out that it's actually on Steam right now. It's like $20, so everyone should go get it. I'm gonna get it as soon as I can. Because it's like a racing game where like you have like I don't know. You just have to watch the trailers for it.
I saw the Giant Bomb. Quick look at that. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it's spectacular in motion. Like I was just watching people play it and just losing my shit. Anyways, I played a game in. I'll do one VR game really quick. I played a game in VR called Giant Cop, which is where you are a giant cop.
You are giant cop.
Giant cop.
Is that what you said?
Giant law enforcement officer.
Okay, there you go.
There's like this guy. He's like, you've arrested enough people. We can now put a new law on the books. And so then there's like a random new law. So I was walking around picking up citizens and throwing them in the jail bin. Like there were nudists who were distressing people, so I just grabbed all the nudists and was like throwing them in prison.
That fits in with the giant cock theme.
Nah, it was like apparently they only had like one map, I guess, but they're gonna like be expanding it to more. I don't think Room VR has a future. I'm going to be completely like 100% honest here. I think Valve is objectively wrong in their assessment that Room VR is the only way to do VR. They're like, this is the future of VR. No, Room VR is terrible. It's like Kinect 2.
Well, hold on. What are you talking about? Like using the whole room and using like?
Yeah, Room VR is what the HTC Vive is doing, where they have like a station, and you walk around inside this giant room, and it's not a giant room. It's like a 15 by 15 foot room, and that's the limit of your play space. That's all you can do is walk in that 15 by 15 foot space. So I was like, so how do you like go beyond this space? Like how can you make maps bigger than like 15 by 15? And he's like, well, we made you giant.
We made you giant.
It's like, it's true. This is bigger than 15 feet. But I was like, what else are you going to do? He's like, well, we'll have other maps that you can teleport to, which I think
that are also 15 by 15?
Yeah, basically. They're all really small. So I was like shuffling around playing the game, and it was amazing to play. Like, don't get me wrong. Playing it, super fun. But playing it within this limited space, and that's like all you can do, feels weird to me. But that's on Vive. I played the Oculus, which I'll get to in a bit. Crytek had an amazing booth. I think they probably had my favorite booth.
Did Marcel slip you some money?
Yeah, really.
He did not slip me some money. He didn't need to, because I got to play Kingdom Come, which is that upcoming RPG from the guys who made the Mafia games.
Oh, interesting.
It's really good. It's got first-person sword combat that actually requires you to like pick the angle that you're gonna swipe from.
Oh my god!
Block attacks.
I need a Kingsfield VR. I need it.
It's like based on real sword combat. Like they actually researched how sword combat works. Apparently they have actual historians on staff. They have actual like sword fighters on staff that are all working to make this game work. It's really good looking. Like it's running CryEngine like 4 or 3 or whatever it is now, so it looks spectacular. The forests are incredible. Like you can tell it's unfinished. It's in beta right now. It's like $50. You can buy it and actually, I guess, get a Steam code. Not 100% on that, whether it's Steam or custom launcher, but it was really cool. Like I'd heard of it. I thought it looked neat, but then I actually saw it in action, saw how detailed the combat was, and it was like, someone has actually made good first-person melee combat. This is amazing.
Whenever that first came out on Kickstarter, it seemed very, very ambitious.
It is, but because they're in the Czech Republic, they can actually afford to do more than we can here.
Okay.
But just kind of like how CG Projekt was able to make like The Witcher 2 for like dirt cheap. It's like what, 10 million or something.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out real quick.
Canadian developers can do.
Enrique in chat a little earlier, he mentioned Peter North in VR would be scarier than PT. And I was thinking, like, what if you had like an Uncharted porn movie in VR called like, and you had Peter North instead of Nolan North, and it was called like Uncharted Among Thieves. I'll be here till Thursday. Try the deal.
Oh god.
So there was a.
Let that roll already. Go ahead.
There was a
This is what
JRPG
happens
that
when Steve's not on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. He's going to be horrified at what's happened here. Keep going.
There was a JRPG that was like indie that looked really good. It had like this super clean UI, which is always like my biggest problem with JRPGs is they have these really garbage interfaces.
Have you seen Final Fantasy Dissidia, the new one? It might have the most garbage UI ever.
Are you talking about the arcade game?
Yeah, Final Fantasy Dissidia.
I don't think I've paid attention to it because it's a Final Fantasy game.
I'll tweet you I will tweet you a picture later.
Feel free. Yeah, it was a really good looking game, and I cannot remember what it was called, which is like really annoying me because it was probably my favorite like random on the floor game that I saw. It just like it looked really clean, really easy to like get into. Like basically, it fixed all the problems that JRPGs tend to have when I look at them. It's like, oh, I want to play this now. And I can't remember
the combat system more engaging, or
pretty regular, like pretty typical JRPG combat system. You know, like 5 guys on one side, 5 guys on the other, fighting back and forth, turn-based, that kind of thing. There was a game that looked like Alan Wake.
Ooh, was it Alan Wake?
No, it wasn't. No, it had no combat though, so it was missing all the good parts of Alan Wake. It's called, I think, Through the Woods or something like that.
Ice cold.
That was a
just casually dropped that.
Yeah.
It's called Through the Woods, I think. But I guess
the woods.
So like Alan Wake cross
like or like the forest? Is it like Alan Wake mixed with the forest or something?
I mean, no, because the forest is like the forest. It's more like Alan Wake mixed with like Amnesia or something.
I could get down with that.
Apparently, like there are monsters and stuff, but there's no combat. Like you're, I guess, a mom going through the woods to like rescue her kid or something. But it looked really nice. Saw a game called it's by a company called Anvil Head Studios, and they're calling it right now like Bring Your Own Base, which is where you build a base, and then you get matched up with like 3 other people who have also brought their bases. And it kind of combines all 4 bases into one map.
Do they belong to us?
All of them.
All of them belong to us?
It's a competitive shooter, but like you kind of like design and build like your part of the map, I guess. It's a really weird concept, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, I wish I had come up with that idea first because it looks really cool. Yeah, Anvil Head Studios is the name. They've got some footage of it on YouTube, it looks like, or on their website. But Yeah, it was like basically you have to design like strategically like to keep people from coming into your base, but also realizing that you have to let some people into your base to like let the game function. It's strange but interesting. Like it's like sort of Minecrafty, but not. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else I saw.
Can I ask you a question, Doc, real quick about something you might have seen there?
Okay.
What did you were you able to get a bead on people's reactions to PlayStation VR, like on the ground level?
Yeah, no, like there's the reason I finally decided not to go to the booth is because everyone is like, you're getting what you pay for.
Oh God.
Is that good or bad?
It was not super favorable. Like I don't think I met a single person there who was actually excited to talk about it.
Interesting.
Like everyone always like tried to steer conversation towards what is that game called? Or that thing called Oculus. Everybody's like, let's suck Oculus Revive. No one cares about PS.
Can you play Res on an Oculus or a Vive?
The booth was really big though. Like there was a really long line and a big wait time, but after people had seen it, they didn't seem to be that impressed. So
interesting. I see. Like I heard the opposite from people coming out of E3 who I'm sorry, not E3, but PSX who tried it.
You also have to keep in mind at PSX, these are devoted PlayStation guys.
That's a good point.
So,
audience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I was hearing that Oculus and Vive were both sharper, better looking, fluid, etc.
That doesn't surprise me.
Having played them, I was like, wait, you think this is sharp? Are you sure? Because all the VR stuff is kind of blurry. Like, I have perfect eyesight, and it's pretty blurry. Like, I was like, is it always this blurry? And they're like, yeah. So that image quality is really kind of a bummer to me. But I will say that the best thing I've ever played in VR is called Bullet Train. It's the most amazing experience in the entire universe. I know this is hyperbole, but it's earned. You start off and you're on a train, and like they're like, okay, pick some stuff up. So I was like, okay. And I got to mess with the Oculus handset that won't be releasing with the Oculus. It's like coming out like later this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's really intuitive and nice. Like I know it looks stupid, but when you're holding it, it feels perfect. So I started reaching for stuff, picking it up, tossing it in the air, catching it, and like actually like juggling some stuff, which was like really cool. But then the train stops and dudes start shooting at you. So they teach you to teleport, and whenever you teleport, you slow time down. So I was actually grabbing bullets out of the air and throwing them at people to kill them. And then when the giant robot showed up, I was throwing the rockets at the robot. And at one point, like I walked into I teleported over to part of the room. I picked up the gun that was sitting there and like tossed it up in the air, caught it, swung over, and shot the guy with it. I shot another guy. He dropped his gun. I caught it in midair, flipped around, and shot his buddy. Like it makes you feel like an action hero. And it also makes you feel like you're there.
That sounds kick-ass.
It was
that sounds awesome.
Amazing. Epic's making it, which is probably why it's so good.
Oh yeah,
nice.
But like, it was incredible. My only complaint was that like the only way you can move is teleport. Like you can't walk. And this is actually the problem I had with like all the VR games is none of them let you move.
That sucks.
Like, Crytek had a demo where you literally just sit down and you're like trapped under like metal bar while things walk around you and look cool. And it felt great. It was probably the best looking thing I saw there. And I also think Crytek had the better like Oculus headsets. Like theirs were super sharp compared to everybody else. Which is why the Crytek booth was my favorite. Is like all their VR stuff was amazing and all their regular games were amazing.
That Marcel money was really good then, huh?
I wish you would pay me. That would be awesome.
That's
now,
good.
Crytek didn't have any games. That's probably why the booth was so good. Crytek didn't have any of their own games there.
Did you do the T-Rex demo?
I did not do the T-Rex demo. They had it playing on television.
That looks so good.
That does look good. Yep.
It does look good. They had it playing on a television, but they weren't actually demoing it. They only had Oculuses.
That's a shame.
And one Vive.
Is the plural of Oculus Oculi?
It's probably Oculus.
I can sleep now.
So the really awesome, probably the best like actual game there, because almost all these things don't feel like games. They all feel like demos. Even Bullet Train, which is amazing.
They're experiences.
Yeah, it's more like, I mean, have you ever been to like a really bad theme park ride, like that lasts like 5 minutes, and you're like, what was that? That's VR right now. That's like all the VR I tried. It's like really short, not that fun, not that interesting, with the exception of Giant Cop, which was like cool, but maps seem small. And
I'll bet it does seem small.
Oh man.
And then Bullet Train, which is just like so cool that it actually kind of overrides the disappointment from not being able to move very well. Like really, all you can do is teleport. You can't actually walk. It's so weird. And then there's the Climb, and the Climb is like the only game I've looked at and gone, okay, this is an actual like full VR game. This is something you can actually do. You know, when I first saw it, I thought this is like just another tech demo, but it's actually a game. You actually have multiple mountains, multiple routes, lots of things you can do with climbing. I think you actually can like I think your friends have like scores that they post for how effective they climbed or whatever that you can actually beat. I used to rock climb like a lot. It was not a lot, but like every week. It was really fun.
A lot.
And you know, when I got sick, I couldn't climb anymore. And getting back, like playing the climb was like being there again, like actually climbing again. And it brought back emotions
cool.
I'd forgotten.
That's gonna be incredible.
It reminded me of what it was like to actually climb cliffs again. And like, you know, the person demoing it, she was like, you know, okay, now look over the cliff, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That's a big drop. It brings back like actual sensation of vertigo and stuff, of like climbing and being there, and it's trippy, man. It is super trippy. So I think there's really only one game I would 100% buy for Oculus right now, and that is the Climb, and I don't know if that's really worth the $600 or whatever it is that's going on sale for.
Hey Doc, I think we've actually got some questions from our viewers for you, and
Okay.
So I know we had one from Daniel Wisenhunt in chat, but I don't see his question here. So go ahead and ask your question, Dan. And while we're waiting on that, we got another question from Rain City Gamers page. So is PSVR bad, or is it just not as good as Vive? Because those are two distinctly different takes.
I just didn't see that many people that were like excited about it personally.
Yeah.
They were like the headset quality's not that good. So.
But did they play Summer Lesson though?
I heard at least one person say it felt cheap. So.
Like what the hell do you expect, honestly?
Yeah, Faison and Dog were saying the same thing months ago when they did the European event.
Yeah.
So. What are the questions? Come on, hit me.
Okay, waiting on Dan Wisnant's question here. Dan, where's your question, buddy?
While we're waiting on this, we can talk about the NX rumor.
Yeah, we missed that one.
Oh shit, we did miss
I
that.
don't think it got debunked.
Why do we care? Because I was gonna say the guy who did the rumor released a video showing how he made it, like he faked it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all debunked anyway.
This little
so
program
talking
we've
about
never
it.
heard of called Photoshop.
Well,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's recent. That just came out in the past
Yeah,
couple
no,
hours,
you
and it
guys are
got
talking about,
debunked.
talking about that controller, right?
Yeah, the controller.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, the controller leaks. They came out, and the guy who did it came out and said, "Yeah, I made it. Never mind."
I gotta
He did
say
this,
though,
like,
that
Continue
Just
your
2 hours
day.
ago.
that is the most
2 or 3
believable
hours.
fake. That looked real. That was a really,
Yeah, man.
really good fake.
That was the most hype PR Nintendo's had in the last 5 years, right there.
I knew it was fake.
So
I knew it
would
was fake for
anyone-
one simple reason. It was too sleek for Nintendo.
It really is. Yeah.
So-
Why would
Yeah.
anyone want that controller though? Like, it doesn't look ergonomic. Like, I
No.
physically could not hold that for very long. It has no physical buttons apparently.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that
really-
sounds like garbage.
Haptic
I'm really
feedback.
excited though, like looking at the controller though, because there's another controller here. It's a more convincing looking photo according to Kotaku. They say this might actually be the real controller. Based on the look of it, I'm really looking forward to playing Uncharted Golden Abyss on NX. I really can't wait to download XCOM on that controller.
Oh, man.
I forgot there was one other game I saw that Flunky will like.
What's that?
It's called Video Ball, and it's like 2D Rocket League.
Ooh.
Except that you can also shoot other players.
You have my attention.
You can like create these blocks in space that like they break after a while, but you can actually create them to like stop people from getting stuff in your net. Ridiculous amount of maps: 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Incredible soundtrack. amazing feedback, and it's super fun to watch because like it's constantly doing like call-outs, like popping up like here's like your here's your like goals over your entire career in the game or whatever. So like people watching can see all this like, commentary talking about like how good the player is, how much the player's played, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. Is it a VR game or no?
No, it's just 2D. It's like you play it on your TV. It's by Tim Rogers.
Okay.
Who he used to do like stuff for like I think Capcom or Sega, and then he's back over here in the U.S. now. He writes a lot of like he's written a lot of like really crazy stuff for Kotaku over the years. Divisive personality, but fantastic guy. It was really great meeting him. And that game, I mean, I went from like I don't really get this to like just after like for every couple of minutes you watch, the more like every element starts to kind of reveal itself. And I came away from it thinking this is a perfect game. It's so fun to watch. And yet, you start out watching and you're like, I don't know what's going on at all. Probably not quite as intuitive as Rocket League, but definitely your sort of party-based, like I don't know. You can play it online or you can play it like in like your room. Like you can like bring a bunch of people into your living room and play it there, which is how we were playing it. And there was like, I don't know, they had like 6 people and we're all like screaming at how exciting it was. I had no energy left, so I was like just watching, but it looked incredible. Like it looks thoroughly flawless. And I mean, it's not even my genre. Like it's totally not a thing I would normally play, but it looks so good that I'm getting it day one.
Hey guys, real quick, 2 things. One, Anchorman's got a split. He just let me know on Twitter. So Anchor, thanks for joining us and filling in for Steve and Gabe, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, anytime I can. Just send me a message.
What's that?
So, yeah, just send me a message anytime you need me. So.
Yeah, man, you got it.
Yeah, sorry. I'll see you guys later.
See you, man.
Later, man.
And Doc, we've also got a few more questions in chat.
Cool.
The first one is from Dan. Dan, and this is actually a really good question. He wants to know if you tried the PSVR, if you've tried PSVR with glasses on.
No, I did not try PSVR like at all specifically. I tried the other 2, and I had like 1 hour left, so there was no chance I was gonna try it. But everyone else is like, you don't really need to, including like the editor-in-chief of one of the biggest VR mags there is. Just like a lot of people being like, I did it. I wouldn't really do it.
They were that dismissive, that open. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't meet anyone who was like, yeah, you got to try this. Everyone was just like, they were more like, well, have you tried the climb? I haven't tried the climb yet. Is that good? Or they were like trying to try other things.
Well, Doc, I think what he meant was like have you putting the headset on with a pair of glasses on at the same time.
No, I didn't bring my glasses with me.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I think that's what he was getting at.
My glasses are only for like correcting far range vision.
I gotcha. Okay.
I wouldn't wear that for VR.
I guess did you see anybody put one on with glasses on, or were they actively discouraging it, or?
Nobody seemed to have any problems. I think there were a few people who tried it, but most people I know have no glasses. So.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And Enrique at Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Shout out to Enrique. He's a good guy. He says, does Doc think VR is going to be a fad?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Really?
Okay, so here's the thing. All the VR games I tried, like I said, only one of them felt like a full game.
So hold on, Doc. I just want to point. Are you referring to PSVR or like VR as a whole?
VR as a whole.
Okay, gotcha. Go.
Okay, I can go through all this, or at least I'll try. So, of all the games I played, only one actually felt like a real game, and that was The Climb. Bullet Train is super cool, and everyone who tries VR should try Bullet Train. But I don't know if it's actually going to be a full game, and if it is, it's going to be like the I don't know, one of those like go to the arcade
light gun game
games. Yeah, light gun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, you have way more control over how you shoot because you're actually holding the gun and aiming and pointing and stuff. But there wasn't a single game there that actually felt like a world I wanted to be in. Like nothing felt actually immersive. Nothing actually felt like, hey, I'm here in this space. This is incredible. Like I want to see like VR Skyrim, you know? Like I want to put on a VR headset and be in Skyrim and like walk around Skyrim and explore. Nobody lets you walk
around yelling Fus Roda.
That would be fun. No one had any games with mobility. Like every single game that I played was like you're in this one location, and if you want to move, you have to like teleport, or you're in the cockpit of a vehicle, so you're not moving, but the vehicle is. Or because I played Eve Valkyrie, by the way, which was okay but very broken. Just had a lot of bugs. It took us like 5 times trying to launch it.
Yeah, isn't it like the showcase for VR too?
Super fuzzy, by the way. Probably the fuzziest game that I played.
Ooh.
Oh man.
And the sticks are not inverted, which just I wanted to kill someone. Like flight sticks have to be inverted. They told me, oh yeah, you can change that in the mission after the demo had ended.
What?
What?
What the hell?
I was like,
Programmed that.
what?
Why?
Like that should be default. Flight controls need to be inverted by default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic etiquette, right? But like everything is like you're in a cockpit, or you can't move, or you're going to fix positions. It really did feel like going to like a theme park and doing like individual like theme park rides. Like I mean that one demo for Crytek, it was like a benchmark thing, but I mean all you do is literally just sit in place. You do not move at all. Like it's mobility for me is super important. Like I'm making a game with like triple jumping and wall running and hopefully grappling hooks at some point.
That's okay. That's all right.
Okay, I have a question, Doc. I have a question. I don't want to interrupt. I like to let people talk. I know John's like, why don't you just ask her in the podcast? I don't like to interrupt people. My question is, was there a lot of positivity as far as new creators and indie guys coming out and saying, hey, no, the tools for this are amazing for as far as VR goes? I know 5 days ago, for example, there was a YouTube video posted by one guy who made an incredible AR-15 demo by himself in Unity.
I saw
that demo with one guy making that was incredible.
Can you link me to that? Because I haven't seen that.
You're gonna love it.
Really fucking cool.
I've seen it already. It's so cool.
Now that alone shows promise for me, and I'm skeptical as all hell on VR.
Just due to the attention to detail, right? You can pick it up. You can put in a magazine.
You have to use a you have to use a charging handle. I mean, this stuff's never been done in games before.
Yeah, and you know, guys like me and Kat and Brandon, you know, we're all former military, so you know, when I see stuff like that, you know, I get really amped up. You know, that's a really fucking cool. And that right there, I think, are the like as far as like, you know, third-person or first-person shooter games go in VR. That right there, like that level of realism, like, you know, the feeling of actually like loading the magazine in yourself and racking around in the chamber and, you know, drawing down. And
you can do a brass check.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
You pull the charging handle back. You can fucking see the round in the chamber, and you can snap it back with the forward assist. I
want to be able to do my tap. Dude, I want to get my tap rack bang going on in VR.
Can you walk around though?
No.
No.
Well,
it's a firing range.
It's a firing range. You're stationary.
And that's what I'm seeing is like everything I see is like you are stationary unless you're in a vehicle.
Yeah. Killing mobility sucks.
Yeah, the only games that I've seen where you're somewhat mobile are the Vive games, which is like you have to have a 15 by 15 foot room, and that's all you can do. And it will warn you when you get close to the wall. It's not even like they have a button that like lets you extend the room by like having the player turn around, which seems really weird to me. Like I was playing a VR demo, and I was like, so I've reached the edge of your space. How do I like flip the camera around? And he's like, just physically turn around. It's like, well, there's a cable wrapped around my head. Like, I mean, really, just turn around. Like, I have a direction I want to be facing. Like, I'm not going to go building levels in VR. It feels really awkward compared to just doing it on this keyboard.
I'm going to
interrupt. Crytek and Unreal both are trying to do. I don't have the space to walk around and build a level in VR. It's too tight. It's too small. It's Kinect 2.0 is what the Vive is. Like, just flat out, it is Kinect 2.0. Valve is saying that's the future of VR, and you won't want to do stationary VR after that. Valve is wrong. Like, I don't care how smart anyone at Valve is. That is not good.
I'm hearing from my friend, some our mutual friends on Twitter, Lashman and Dio, saying the reason that they're not having people walk around is it makes you incredibly motion sick.
That's what I've heard, but I feel like that is going to be the limitation on VR. If you cannot move around in VR,
that might kill it right there, right?
Well, what's the point? I mean,
VR is stillborn.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you can play racing games, and that's it.
Cockpit games,
Giant Cop is cool, but basically, I was grabbing all my objectives from one building at my feet that was like maybe 2 feet by 3 feet wide, from my perspective.
You know,
You have to
it's
go
going to be really.
reach over, pick.
It's going to be really interesting.
throw them.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. I was getting some lag. Sorry.
Sorry, that's it. Yeah.
Are you sure, dude? I really didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I mean, all I was saying was like, the only thing I did in Giant Cup was bend over, pick something up, and throw it. That's it. That is the only action I played. So.
More innuendos. You bending over.
I know, all night,
You
dude.
can't help it. Hey, that game.
Trying to figure out if they're just like casual, just casually dropping the joke here.
Now, if you guys get the game and play it, you'll actually get that there's a crap ton of innuendo in that game. Like it's got a lot.
You know what's interesting about hearing all this is that like Sony seems supremely confident in VR's chances.
Yeah.
Like supremely confident. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, my dogs are down here. Hey, baby. Oh,
Dogcast.
It's the Dogcast. Yeah. Hey, honey, come here. Come here. No, I was gone for so long. My dogs are all freaking out that I'm home now.
Oh, you scared the cat off.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he ran.
I'm out.
But
what I was going to say
like,
Sony is pompous now because they made all. Dan comes in, tells us all the numbers. They're making all this stuff, and they think that they know how to do everything now.
I really don't see that many, like, I mean, what games are PSVR right now that are, like, genuinely PSVR, not just the random demo, like The Whale?
What about that?
Riggs.
Riggs. No, what about that dinosaur with Robinson or something like that?
I did hear
Marcel's game.
That Riggs was really good. I did hear that.
Yeah, I've heard Riggs is fucking fantastic.
There's that like on rails Until Dawn thing.
Yeah, Rush of Blood or whatever, which sounds fucking stupid.
By the way,
take such a great
Riggs is a game where you're moving around and
such a gem like Until Dawn.
I was gonna say
the VR applications for like a horror game are fucking amazing, and you put it on a fucking roller coaster. That goes against everything that Until Dawn was, and it's so fucking stupid.
Honestly, though, somebody actually did just attach VR to an actual roller coaster game, and it looks like the most exciting thing ever. I say this as someone who loves roller coasters, so. But yeah, like I think Riggs. Part of the reason people like Riggs is because, what do you know? It lets you move around. Like there you go. That's why Riggs is interesting.
Yeah.
So ultimately, mobility is what's going to work. Like if you're not mobile. Your VR is going to die pretty quick. Keep talking and nobody explodes, though, is probably a really good use of VR. That's really clever.
I feel like that would be a fucking amazing game for a game, by the way. Keep talking and nobody explodes. That would be fucking awesome.
Have you heard of it? You know what it is?
Yeah. Isn't it similar to like Sports Friends?
No.
It's a bomb defusing game, except that one person is wearing a headset trying to defuse the bomb, and everybody else is looking through manuals trying to find instructions. So you're shouting at the person in VR how to defuse the bomb.
That's amazing.
That actually sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
So I didn't realize that was actually a game. That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to play it, which is why it didn't immediately come to mind. But
hold on. Did we have a question in chat? I thought I just saw something.
I want Alien Isolation in VR. Give me that.
Everyone wants Alien Isolation.
Yeah. So. Alien, God, a game like Alien Isolation, like if that it took me 22 hours to get through that campaign. Had the game been like 6 or 8 hours, it would have been one of the greatest horror games I've ever played. But there was just too much fucking padding in that game.
Over 20 hours, that blows my mind.
Dude, like the save system in that game is so fucking terrible. It was one of the worst goddamn save systems I've ever encountered in my life.
22 hours on my end.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, the game was 20, not 20. The game was maybe 15 hours too long.
I would be lucky if I went past 10 hours. I've never played it.
I liked it except for the final hour.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The final hour is terrible.
Like I was okay with 20 hours of game, but that last hour where like the alien is always at your heels, that's just not fun. Like it was too scripted at that point.
It was intense.
Hard. It was hard. I mean, and when you guys who have played it, you know what I'm talking about. That was not an easy game.
No.
That was an extremely difficult fucking game.
I quit. I rage quit. Like in the med bay early on.
Yeah, I did too.
It was like trapping me in position and I couldn't get out. Finally figured out how to get out shortly after I got the flamethrower, and that's where the game becomes good. Like when you get the flamethrower, everything makes sense. It's perfect.
I feel like that's a good policy for life, though. Like once you have a flamethrower, everything makes sense. That's just me. But yeah, see, people in chat are agreeing that Like he says here, Giant Cop was too long. Oh, so Enrique in chat just threw out a really. So he wants Guitar Hero VR. That could be cool.
Guitar Hero is
Guitar Hero or Rock Band in VR. I could see that.
How is that Guitar Hero Live thing? By the way,
I loved it. I loved it.
I would play that in VR. That would be kind of amazing.
Oh
So-
yeah, it was so cool with the music videos and everything.
So what about this? So we've also got the Battlefront VR thing and the Robinson's Journey thing. The Robinson's Journey thing looked really fucking cool. The Battlefield VR, you know what I noticed about? Or no, Battlefield. Or I'm sorry, Battlefront. Sorry, Battlefront.
Battlefront. That's right.
The Battlefront. They didn't say. They said it's the Battlefront experience, and I think that's a word you're going to be hearing a lot of in regards to VR.
They're going to be standing in a 15 by 15 room. Shooting.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to just go release like an X-Wing versus TIE Fighter game in VR, I would buy a VR headset immediately.
Oh God! Like it's. So there's actually a guy who played a little bit of that Battlefront VR experience thing, and he said if you've ever had any kind of dreams of holding a lightsaber, that's it right there. Like it will fulfill them and then some. He said he could practically smell the heat coming off the lightsaber.
It's the old Star Wars Connect demo, bro.
Yeah.
I did see that. It looks really exciting to play for about 5 minutes. Everyone who was playing it while I was waiting in line for Bullet Train, which is in the same room. Everyone was having fun, but there's not a whole lot to do.
I was gonna say, at the end of the day, it's just you standing there with a lightsaber, like fucking.
Basically.
Was it you that tweeted the picture of the woman playing the game?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
she was having like a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah.
So, now, have you guys seen the videos of people freaking out and ripping the headset off for that Paranormal Activity?
Oh yeah,
game on VR?
No, I would not play that.
That and apparently these aren't those canned reactions for people. You see people in the dark room playing Outlast and they're like and they throw the headset off. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those the dumbest fucking ads I've ever seen in my life. And they've always got the one guy who goes he's staring at the screen and then he goes, "Oh Jesus!" I hate those fucking ads. There were legit people just being filmed, putting on the headset for the Paranormal Activity game or whatever it was, and people were pulling the headset off and yelling and just walking away. And I love horror games, and that just really makes me double down on why I think VR is just such a fucking excellent platform for a good horror game. So I don't know, and Doc, I guess that's kind of where my question comes in, is that what genre or what type of game do you think is just what do you think will be the most successful experience or genre on any VR platform? What do you think?
I could be completely wrong here, but I feel like it's going to be racing games and flying games, like Star Citizen.
You mean or Ace Combat 7 or whatever?
I mean, maybe. I know everyone who tried Elite Dangerous with the Oculus was saying it's next level experience. That for them was the thing. It was Elite Dangerous on VR, but that wasn't there when I was there, so I didn't get to try it out. Adrift I think Adrift is going to be really good. I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with a couple of people who work on it, but it has 6 degrees of freedom. You're in space, no gravity, you're floating around. Awesome. I think that one's going to be really nice, but for the most part I think it's going to be flying games. Like I said, Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, that kind of thing.
I want something like Descent in VR.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The new Descent being made, right? What's that game called?
Oh, the new Descent. Crap, I know it.
It's in my. It should be in my.
Overload.
There you go. Thank you. That's VR.
Did it reach its Kickstarter goal?
Yes, it did, and it has 2 demos out right now.
Oh, nice.
I've actually got a question, Doc. So that game you were talking about earlier, the third game in a big series, what was the game?
I can't tell you.
God damn it! I thought that might work. Dude, you're killing me with this. Okay,
can I bring up something?
Can you say? Hold on. Does it rhyme with? Does it rhyme with?
Oh God, you're still gonna guess.
Does it rhyme with? Sod of War.
It's not a console game.
3 of those.
Never mind,
There's 5 of those.
It's not a console game. I mean, they might release this one on consoles, but
it's not a
console series. It's not a console series.
Ooh,
and not a console series. Oh shit! Wait, dude. Clash of Clans?
Yeah, I'll get out of here.
I think that needs a 2 first, doesn't it? Wait. City Gamer said that if they have like Call of Duty or GTA in VR, it'll flash sales. Yeah, absolutely. That's what they need, and because of the mobility problems, I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, people will get sick running around in Call of Duty. Apparently, that's what everyone's telling me. I don't think I would get sick doing that though. So.
Dude, it's StarCraft 3, isn't it?
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh God.
Wouldn't that be something else, man? I mean, Doc is being so coy. It's StarCraft 3. Just say it. Look how coy you're being.
I wish that somebody had confirmed to me whether or not Warcraft 4 is in development. That's what I want to hear.
I've been hearing a lot of rumblings. There have been a lot of rumblings about that. I guarantee you they're working on it in some fashion. You know,
well, they did just patch Diablo 2, and I think Warcraft 3 for like to work on modern.
They're working on a Brood War patch too.
It's awesome, but I want Warcraft 4. That's what I want. Give it to me. I will buy it right now.
I would love.
I can't buy it right now, but I would buy it right now.
My life for Ner'zhul. I want it. So it does. So all right, we've been going for about an hour and a half. Doc, you got any other takeaways from GDC? You've given us a lot. The conversation has been really cool. I really appreciate it.
I think I'd rather go to E3 for all the new gaming news. I think GDC basically was like 80% like really cool indie games and mostly just talking to people. Like 90% of what I actually did was the entire time. Just
well, it's a conference.
Yeah, it's more of a business conference. So I actually got more like job leads or just people talking about work or whatever. You know, I met Steven Totillo from Kotaku there. Like he
that's pretty cool.
He didn't recognize me at first, which was just funny.
Get him on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
He is super busy. It's crazy. I also met you guys know Jeff Green, right? Like he does the Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
Top cap.
So I work with him.
No, games with Windows.
I do like consulting with him. So he and I had dinner with the rest of the consultants.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's also super tall. Like holy crap.
Nice.
Way taller than I thought.
Yeah, Jeff Green is old school cool.
Yeah, he's really fun to have dinner with. They were talking about him and another guy whose name I'm blanking on because I'm retarded. We're talking about Rust and like how they were destroying people in Rust. It sounded like they were talking about. I think they mentioned Sean too. So it was like a lot of old Games for Windows guys, I guess, that are still like hanging out and playing Rust and stuff together.
Oh yeah.
Sounded fun, but.
So you mentioned E3. Why don't we end with this? Why don't we each give a quick prediction about one game we think we'll see at E3? I think that might be fun. Kat, why don't you start?
One game that I want to see.
No. One game that you think we'll see.
I think. Oh God. Why do you have to start with me?
Because you're our guest. It's only polite.
God, I can't think of it. Something crazy. You know what? I want to see. I say, let's go for the glory, right? How about a new Metroid for the NX?
Ooh,
nice. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be nice.
No, it's probably not going to happen at all. Can I do one more thing?
Yes.
Really quick?
Yes, you may.
Actually, it's two things, so I lied. The first thing is I want to give credit to the 4 studios that were closed down this last month. Lionhead, Fifth Cell, Evolution Studios, and Treasure Games made some fantastic games, and it's bullshit that this market is closing down.
Wait, Treasure got shut down?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I heard about the other.
Oh, I mean, there's like 3. Yeah, Treasure is like 3 people. They're not making.
But they're not making any more games.
They're just licensing stuff out.
Still no good.
It still sucks. Evolution was a big.
Treasure hasn't made a game in like 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
That anyone really cares about. I mean,
I posted a big in memoriam tweet to MotorStorm. I played it whenever the other day, whenever the news came out that
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
That MotorStorm Pacific Rift is one of the best games of all time, and I was playing that, just remembering Evolution, because we're never gonna get another one ever again.
No, man. It sucks. So that's the first thing I want to mention. And the second thing I want to mention, really, really quick, don't want to take anyone's time, is my friend was reviewing the PC version of Dark Souls 3. And he'd been feeding me information on the whole thing. I should have said this earlier when I was talking about the game, okay?
That's right.
People know how regions work, region locks and stuff like that. Well, he saw English copies of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC versions out. And when he was getting his copy from the distributor, from the Bamco rep or whatever,
Really
and he asked
me
him,
off.
he said, yes, incredibly much. And he goes, are they moving up the release date? And they said, well, absolutely not. We can't do that. And he didn't read into it too much, but in an email he sent out later, he came to the conclusion, well, the only thing that makes sense is they're trying to push the second quarter numbers with a release in the States. And the PC code is a little buggy, but it's pretty much finished. And the English versions of the game are ready to go.
Oh, they're ready to go, man. They're gold.
20 days is a little ridiculous for a game that's gold and ready to released in a region. I can understand a week and a half, 9 days maybe. Maybe Doc has more insight on this.
They're probably just terrified of Hyper Light Drifter.
No, but I mean, if you could shed some light on it, I called it out when my friend emailed me because I have no shame. I'll let people know what I hear from people that are on the inside.
I would assume it's probably the quarterly release numbers, like almost definitely.
Yeah, it just sucks because From would want to have that game out to everyone.
Well, here's the thing: like a lot of people were really upset about the fact that people on Xbox were downloading the game and essentially playing it early, and that people on Steam, and also that they were just handing out people or PC copies on Steam. Or to a bunch of fucking Twitch players. So a lot of people. I know. I should have asked for one because we're huge.
Yeah, we're YouTubers now, right?
Yeah,
hey,
I know.
My friend doesn't have a lot of viewers either, but I mean, he's the first guy to post 4K videos.
I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing as soon as we're done here. I'm reaching out. I'm gonna get my PC copy.
You might as well.
Dark Souls.
Go for it. All right, that's all.
But no, so like, I know what. Actually, you know what? This is. I want to raise a question to you guys. So a lot of people have been positing that. The game, or at least petitioning, From to bring the game out a week early on April 5th because a lot of people are pissed off. You guys think that that's a possibility, or do you think?
No.
I doubt it. No. I really doubt it, man.
They will never. I mean, that would involve negotiating stuff with retailers.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, retailers get really pissy when you release the digital copy early, and that just really annoys me. By the way, I should be able to release digital whenever I feel like it. But.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah. It's an irritating situation.
I'm not doing a physical release for my game. So.
You are the man. That
Doc,
is awesome mentality.
Doc, why don't we close on two things? One, I want to.
What about E3 predictions? Come on.
Oh yeah, shit.
What's the
I forgot about that. E3. Yeah, Brandon, go.
All right, I'll go next. My pick is Titanfall 2.
That's an easy one, but a good one.
Pretty safe bet.
I really thought you were going to say like Senran Kagura 5 or something.
That's yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. All right, Squirrel. What about you?
I want to see Advance Wars. I want to see the revival of that franchise.
Oh yeah,
that'd be
awesome. Good games, man.
Can you imagine if they brought that back, like as a much bigger budget release for like NX or something?
With waifus.
Nice.
Honestly, would put waifus on handheld.
No, I could see that. I could see that.
But I see what you're getting at. But yeah,
Brandon and his Weibo shit over there. What about Doc? Let's hear it.
Well, the game I keep hinting at is supposedly definitely going to be at E3, so I can't say that one. It'd make me look prophetic though.
It's Danganronpa.
I'm gonna just how about this? I'm going to switch publishers here just because I know there was some news about this earlier, but I think Deep Silver is going to announce Saints Row 5.
That's a safe bet. Yeah, that's a safe bet.
Or we'll get another FIFA installment with a really long talk from Pele or something.
I think Saints Row 5 is an absolute fucking lock for E3 this year.
What about 4A? Is 4A up? Is still Deep Silver own 4A, Doc?
I don't think Deep Silver owns 4A, but I think if I know that 4A is working on a new game that's like open world sci-fi and space thing.
I want a Metro RPG. That'd be fantastic.
That would be cool.
The next game is not Metro, is what I was told.
No.
I believe it.
It's going to be like I heard sci-fi open world. That's what I've heard from Metro,
everything's open world these days. So
everything is.
Yeah, right.
So. One, I think we'll see Taco Master 2 at E3.
Yes, please.
It's the game the masses have been wanting.
Taco Master.
Taco Master's amazing, dude.
Have you platinumed that yet?
Not yet. Just
it gets
because,
hard.
I totally fucking rage quit on Taco Master. I was doing like what is it, like the fucking time attack mode?
Yeah.
And I just like, because I'm not that coordinated, so I'm sitting there trying to make fish tacos as best I can.
The screen isn't great at picking up your fingers sometimes, so like it won't like, pick up your dragging over the red sauce or whatever you're trying to put on.
It's like the greatest, shittiest game I've ever played in my life. Taco Master. Yeah, Taco. So I'm gonna get my Taco Master Platinum, but I want to see Taco Master 2. But in reality, I think that we will absolutely see a big showcase for Horizon, and I think we'll get a release date. And I think the release date will be November of this year. There's no fucking way that game doesn't come out this fall. There's no way. Sony has to have a big tentpole release this fall because they didn't have one last fall.
It's been in development for years.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah. And I think we're going to see more about Sony Ben's game. I think it's time. I think that game's been in the oven long enough, and if we don't hear anything about it, then there's a bigger issue at play there.
Which one is Sony Ben's new game?
Nobody fucking knows. Nobody has any idea what it is. I hear rumors that it's a horror game. I don't know if you guys have heard the same thing.
I think we should ask Colin Moriarty.
We should. I'm going to shoot him a tweet. Shoot Colin a tweet after this and say, Colin, give your boy John the goods on Sony Ben's game. So I think you'll see Sony Ben's game. I think you will absolutely see a release date for Horizon, and I'm hoping we'll see something on The Last Guardian.
I just want to point out something in chat. The Order 1889. That's what we're going to see at A3.
I hope not.
I think it's already been confirmed that Ready at Dawn is working on something that isn't The Order.
I would be stunned. I think we'll get a sequel to The Order. I don't think Ready at Dawn's going to do it.
No, I just think it's straight up dead.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that, dude. I feel like
leave it in the ground. Leave it in the ground.
No. Hold on. We've talked about this before. There's the skeleton of a really good fucking game there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the entire story is so bad.
It really is.
Well, yes,
so
it's
garbage.
that
Like,
I cliffhanger ending, though.
If it gets resurrected, Santa Monica.
Vicky, my wife Vicky, sitting over on the couch right here, she actually was really excited about the Order 1886 because she loves that time period, and she played it and she beat it in like 6 hours, and she was like, okay.
Did she like Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
Actually, she really enjoys Assassin's Creed Syndicate. She does.
Syndicate's really good though. So.
Yeah, well, she loved Assassin's Creed 3, but the one thing she told me after the game was over is that she would have rather played the whole game as Haytham as opposed to Connor.
Yeah.
Because Haytham was like 10 times more interesting than Connor ever could be.
Well, Connor only has one line of dialogue, which is just, Where's Charles
Lee?
I never even played it.
Oh God.
It's the only line. It's the only line he has. And Haytham's like, I'm British and I'm charming and I'm awesome. And
he was very charming. His voice is almost as soothing as Brandon or Jeff's. It was pretty close.
Harmonizing.
I would love to play a full-on Haytham game. That would just be 8 times better than 3.
So
that's enough AC talk.
So we'll wrap it up with this. Doc, if you want to give your game a quick plug, and I also would like you to talk about your Patreon real quick, and then we'll end it there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm working on a game. We got networking working last week, so we actually did a death match, and I won because I'm great.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a guy who didn't know a lot about the project, who has joined to help us with it. He's like, your sprint feels really weird, and I was like, what sprint? He's like, when I press shift, and I was like, oh no, that's your jetpack. Like that's not sprint, that's dodge. Because we have dodge in our game. Supposedly we have AI working. I just got an update on that like earlier this evening. But it'll be a player versus environment thing, kind of like Firefight in Halo or Horde and Gear, something like that. And then we'll start adding other things later. We've got really early plans for Grand Theft Auto style heists.
Nice.
And then
this is sounding ambitious as fuck.
Well, the plan is like we have kind of like tiers of what we want to do. So like we know we can do 10 Horde mode maps on release and 1 raid. We're like 100% confident we can pull that off. So we have that as like our baseline, and then we have other stuff sort of beyond that we want to be able to do. Like I think I have plans for about 60 guns right now, but I'd like to get up to like 100 or 200 different guns.
Are you secretly working with id on Quick?
I would love to be working with id on Quick. I even messaged their I messaged the studio manager about that and offered my services for Quake 5. I could do a better Quake 5 than anyone else in existence, except maybe the people at Raven. Like if they could stop doing Call of Duty, they could actually make a really good Quake 5. But
oh god.
yeah, I mean, we have all our guns are like going to be primary fire and alt fire, so I have to come up with 2 firing modes for every gun type. There are 9 gun types, and then individual guns within those classes. So like, one of the guns I've been working on this week is a shotgun that freezes anything it doesn't kill, and then it has like freeze grenades that actually explode and wipe things out. And then there's another one that like your alt fire actually boosts your movement speed, kind of like the Raging Bull thing from BioShock Infinite. Just a lot of like really weird different mechanics in all the guns. I wanted the guns to feel like kind of a Pokemon style loot system, where you're like running around like actually getting very specific guns rather than like
everything
Diablo
about
style.
this game just sounds so cool.
It really fucking does, man. I am.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to actually do a full reveal in like September.
Woo!
Not a full reveal, but like teaser trailer with some initial gameplay footage and stuff.
Perhaps right here live on Super Deformed Gamescast.
That would be neat. I'm not 100%. Like I will definitely. Well, here's the thing.
Heavy metal soundtrack.
I want to do the first reveal that I plan to do will actually be on my Patreon. Just
okay, cool.
Patreon supporters will see it first, and then and this depends on footage and stuff, right? Like or not footage, like funding and stuff. Like if I go with a publisher, they may have ways they want to do things, and I can't really control that. If I do Kickstarter, well, then I'm going to have to show it in a Kickstarter, but I'll do a preview for the Kickstarter on the Patreon, stuff like that. But,
you should go to Devolver first, if you do go to
Devolver.
So that's the main reason I went out to GDC, and then I found out they weren't actually on site, and they had shut down like the day before I got there. So I missed out on meeting Devolver. But Devolver is my first pick.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think
good choice.
505 is like my second pick, maybe.
Cool.
I've thought about talking to Sony or Microsoft, but this game is really built to work on. It's intended for Steam, so I don't know. Plus the controls. I mean, we have too many buttons for a controller right now. A lot of it's optional controls, but like one button I'm trying to figure out how to add is the Hawkins style turn 180 degrees when you tap a button thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Sweet.
It's a really smart mechanic, and for a game that's as mobile as our game is, like for players, like, and people who are testing the online stuff with us this weekend were like, "This feels like Quake," and it was like, "Well, Unreal is what I was going for, but yeah, sure." Yeah, we really wanted to feel like Unreal Tournament 2004 style speed, so that's the goal. But yeah, so about the Patreon thing, I do freelance writing. Most of it's on Kotaku so far. About to get published on PC World. Been published on PC Gamer before.
Hell yeah.
But I also run a little site called Stomp, which is at thesto.mp on the interwebs, which was sort of supposed to be like a collaborative blog. Like I had a bunch of friends who were like, no one will ever publish my work because they say I need a portfolio, and nobody ever reads the blog that I write, so I don't get feedback, so I can't grow. And so I was like, why not have a collaborative blog? So tomorrow I've got a friend who's publishing a piece on why he doesn't like Wind Waker. Soon I should have a piece on, I forget what they're called, the Last Man Battalion in the Division. I'm working on a couple pieces. One's about Company of Heroes DLC. And basically it's where I publish a lot of stuff I wouldn't necessarily publish anywhere else. Sometimes because it's short, sometimes because it's really complicated. Eventually I'm actually going to publish like my game design thoughts there. So like when I'm talking about my game and why I made the decisions I did in design, I'll be doing that there. And so people who support my Patreon basically keep me alive. It's like I just lost my food stamps again. And my income is basically 90% of, it's basically just my Patreon right now. That's literally all I have. So I'm living on whatever, like $600 a month, and that's it. So like, in order to be able to eat, in order to be able to function, I will write about games. If you ask me, if you're like a Patreon supporter and you ask me or you tell me to write about things, I will try to play those games and write about them. I don't always do it because sometimes it's really hard to come up with something to say. But yeah, Patreon is what's keeping me alive right now. I would literally be homeless if I didn't have that.
And everybody, please go support Doc on Patreon if you can. He could use the help. And
video content. Video content's coming soon.
See, look, that's even better.
Yeah, that's right.
He's gonna do it without a shirt on too, so you have even more incentive.
I won't have myself at all. Sorry. I do have a $2,000 stretch goal. If I get up to $2,000 a month on average, I will write the Half-Life 2 book. I will write the Half-Life 2.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, let's help him get there. So everybody, if you can, go through whatever support you or whatever support you can. It's getting late. I can't talk anymore. To Doc's Patreon, please. And Brandon's gone. He couldn't even wait. He was like, I've got to go right now.
I'm out. See ya.
Increase my Patreon support. But anyway, so cool. Thanks a lot, Doc, for talking about GDC. Brandon's back. All right. And Brandon's just back to the end. He's back just in time for the end of the podcast.
My mouse actually double-clicked on the X button.
If nobody has anything else,
go to geekandgamergear.com and use the code word Deformed to get some cool stuff.
Some cool gear. Our first sponsor. So
that's pretty awesome.
We have our sponsor thanks to the fine following we have. We've got a dedicated fan base now, and you guys are tuning in week after week. And because of that, we have our first sponsor. So just like JT said, go to geekandgamergear.com and use the keyword Deformed for a nice little discount there. Okay, well if that's it, if nobody has anything else, we'll close it out here. As always, we'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No guests next week. In fact, we're not going to have any guests for a while. We're going to keep it to the core podcast for a while, which means pretty much everybody you have here, except for Kat. He's going to be in chat, ready with the band hammer, ready to drop that shit like it's hot. Although since he is a part of the podcast, since he's our chat mod, he is of course welcome on the chat or on the podcast anytime he so desires. So, does anybody have anything else before we end it?
No.
Okay.
By Vita. PSVR. What does it stand for, Flunky? What does it stand for?
PS Vita Revival?
Vita Rebirth.
Rebirth?
Rebirth, okay.
That's a really sweet-looking NX controller, man. Where'd you get that?
I got it from Alcoholocaust on NeoGAF.
Well, you got it because of you could see in the window the tree that was out in front of my place.
That's how, right? Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. How'd you know?
Boys. Well, and Dan in chat says, "What about Doc?" Yeah, Doc's on the podcast. He's gonna be with us next week. Don't ask stupid questions. I'm just kidding. It's not a stupid question, Dan. I'm just giving you a hard time. Hey, you know what, Dan? Was it Dan who won?
Yes, he won the first giveaway.
He won the first giveaway, so we love Dan. He was our first giveaway guy.
Oh yeah.
He's subject to be, ball busted forever because he already won something.
Exactly. He won something. Except you're going to have to deal with our abuse. Okay. So I'm probably going to throw out another Salt and Sanctuary stream this weekend. I got a pretty good response on the other one. A lot of good questions while I was doing the stream.
If you guys are curious, watch the stream. You will be convinced to buy it.
Are you archiving those? Because I missed it last time.
Yeah, no, it's actually on the YouTube channel, so you can go pull it up there.
Awesome, because I'm gonna go play Knack again, and I'll probably miss it.
Yeah, so I don't know. God, your taste in games, I'll never understand it.
I'll never understand it either.
I really, really don't. But we still love you.
You have to write about Knack if you beat it, Doc.
Yeah, you really do.
When I beat it, I will. Like, it's weird.
Awesome.
I don't know why I like it yet.
All right, Dan says forget you, I'm unsubbing. No, you're not, Dan. You love us. You're with us forever. So this has been episode 27 of the Super Deformed Gamescast. Don't forget to join us live next Thursday at 8 p.m. Comment, rate, subscribe. Tell all your friends about us, please. We could use some more sponsors. We love sponsors. We want some more. As always,
maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup sponsors. Jeff would love to action. Some of that sweet, delicious golden fluid. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? That sounds horrible.
Dude.
So I'm talking
giant
about syrup. A giant cock? Did somebody say giant cock? All right, as always, we don't always agree, and it's not always poetry, but we always keep it real. We will see you guys next week.